So this is the Multistrada V4 Rally, and I think this looks fantastic. It is £24,000, £23,590, which I actually don't think is a bad price for what you're getting. Look at it, it is fantastic. It's a great looking bike, and I'm not saying that as a Ducati fanboy. I just think it looks absolutely fabulous. About 170 horsepower. One major problem with the Multistrada V4s, and I know this from good authority, a mate of mine has one of these, is these drink fuel like fish. They are killers on fuel. So if you are going out in a group, they were up the Pyrenees, there was about 4 or 5 of them, mix of KTMs and BMWs and the everyone had to stop every time he had to stop. He knows what I'm talking about. I won't mention his name, Steve. But he had to stop after every couple of 100 kilometers, had to refill up again, and the other lad would still have 100 kilometers left in the tank. So something to be aware of. Now I believe the new ones, they've reconfigured the software, that it's something like cylinder deactivation. So that's supposed to do something about the fuel economy. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I have ridden one. Maybe next year I'll do a video review on one. I just took my mates out for a spin, loved it, great old bike, and this V4 Rally version looks divine. Now, the Desert X. I actually rode the Desert X earlier on today, so you'll have some onboard footage of it. And I cannot believe I'm saying this. I was actually very disappointed. Now, from the reviews I've seen of it, people say it's a fantastic bike, etc., etc. I'm not an off-road type person. I'm competent enough, I'm not embarrassing on it. I know how to ride. If you've seen my review videos earlier on the year from Morocco and Greece, riding the CF Moto 800, the Tenere 700, the Transalp, I'm not the worst off-road, I can handle myself. But when doing that course earlier, there was 2 things that really bugged about. I nearly got off and cut it short because I couldn't ride it. First of all, the front ABS is so aggressive. I know we primarily use the back brake on when you're going off-roading, but when I'm getting used to a bike, will still kind of dab and touch the front brake until I'm kind of getting used to it. It's a brand new bike, I just sat on it. And I remember, you probably never heard me say it before, I actually own an old 1995 Super Tenere 750. That thing is a tank. And funny enough, I have the identical tires on my old a spare wheeled road set and an off-road set. So I have the Crew Extreme, Crew 3s on the rear and Crew Extreme on the front of my old Super Tenere, which is on the same as this Desert X. But we were going down, there was the hill, every time I tried it, going down is a sharp left-hander. I'm barely scrape touching the front brake, and the ABS kicked in. So you're trying to do a corner, you're trying to go down and do a corner, but it was tip, and I kept missing. Each time it kept missing, and that was infuriating. The other thing as well, the throttle is so snatchy. So you need to kind of keep low revs, keep the torque of the bikes going, and just like literally like no problem, and flow with you. There was a little give and snatch. It was like there was nothing. There was play. I actually had to ask them afterwards, is there something wrong with this? Is this normal now? They just, well, that seems normal enough. But the bike was off. But there's definitely too much play there. So to be consistent and smooth in it, I couldn't get it. Now, I've done that course 4 years in a row now. I've done it at a Tiger 800, a Scrambler 1200. Last year I did it on the Himalayan 450. And as I said earlier on this year, I've taken the T700, blah, blah, blah. I've ridden a lot of off-road bikes, proper off-road, and I've never ridden anything like that at all. I didn't like it. It just wasn't confidence inspiring at all. And I'm a Ducati fanboy. And I know I'm going to be getting dislikes and everything on that, and I'm sorry, I have to be honest about it. But the Desert X, for me, maybe it was a faulty bike. I don't know. They were all Italian registered. Maybe they were just demos that they were sent out because they're going to be dropped. Or maybe I'm just a shite off-road rider. But the Desert X was a massive disappointment for me. I love riding this on the road. It's an incredible bike. All the Multistradas are, but their off-road effort, that Desert X, I'm really sorry, it didn't work for me. So that's it. I'm going to move on from Ducati.
Okay, so a quick bit of an update, or a bit of a quick update on my experience on the Desert X, because it really annoyed me. It did annoy me because it just felt something was wrong. So when I got home, I had a bit of a look up to see proper reviews by people who know what they're talking about. And this is what I found out, and it might explain things. So there's 6 power modes, or 6 modes. 2 of them are off-road specific, Enduro and Rally. Now, our bikes were set up Enduro. So this is what I read, and this is verbatim. You love that word. Jesus. So anyway, this is what I read. Enduro mode is great for less experienced off-roaders. the ABS and traction control in that mode is turned up much higher than in rally. So, yeah, that's the crack. It was basically, ABS was set to feckin' maximum, which is the reason why it was kicking in. So, didn't want at all. I don't want any ABS on it at all. Anyway, but it was just, that's why it was so aggressive. So that explains that. Well, I think it explains that. And also, on top of that, there are 4 separate power modes, ranging between the motor's full fat, 110 brake horsepower, and 75 brake horsepower in Enduro mode. So yeah, in Enduro mode, the mode that we were in, it was cut to 75 horsepower. So that may have explained why the throttle was so snatchy that I couldn't get a decent, consistent rev or smoothness. Or you heard me bitch about it. That may explain that. I'm not too sure. I'll have to ride it again, which means Ducati, you're going to have to give me another bike to ride properly and to see if I can make more sense of it. Anyway, that's it. I just had to say it. Talking more shite again. So good luck to you now. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.